analogy with education is not industrial manufacturing, it's industrial agriculture, because that's also concerned with living things. Industrial agriculture grew up in the 19th century. It was made possible by several innovations. One was mechanization, which made it possible to produce vast tracts of land with single crops, like potatoes as far as you could see, sprouts as far as you could see, whereas previously there'd been always mixed crops, which helped to support each other. The second innovation was the development of chemical fertilizer, which made things shoot up very quickly, whereas previously they used natural composting. And then the third is, because these plants were never exposed in a different way, they had to develop chemical pesticides to protect the plants. Well, it all worked. It led to an enormous growth in output in industrial agriculture. The trouble is, it's destroyed soils across the world, it's polluted our waterways, and it's killing our children. Apart from that, it's been a runaway success. But it did lead to massive growth of populations. Organic farming is based on a different principle, which is these are living things, and we need to create different conditions for growth. Organic farming is based on mixed planting, which removes the need for chemical pesticides, because plants naturally protect each other when you do diverse planting. And secondly, it's based on natural crop rotation and the natural fertilization of soils. Now, I'm saying this for a reason, which is that organic farming is sustainable, just as productive, and goes with the natural rhythms of life. It's ecologically sensitive, and it's fair to the people who work in these farms and to the environment. We've done the same thing with animals, by the way. We've housed them in terrible conditions, pumped them full of antibiotics and chemicals, growth hormones, to make them get bigger and fatter. But along the way, we've created miserable lives for them and terrible diseases, which we're now ingesting. The difference is this: organic principles are sustainable, but industrial principles are not. They exhaust us and they exhaust the planet. But the really interesting difference is this to me. Industrial systems of farming focus on the plant or the animal because their interest is in output, like more, bigger, more and bigger. It's all about yield. Well, it increases yield, but it's not sustainable and it's unnatural, and it's damaging the environment in a serious way. Organic farming has yields which are just as impressive, but they're sustainable. But the difference is this: organic farming isn't focused on the plant, it's focused on the soil. The whole principle is, if you get the soil right, the plant will be great, and it will be sustainable in the long run, and it will feed us and sustain us into the far future. Get the soil right. The analogy with education is pretty clear, that we have allowed systems to evolve which are focused on output, yield, graduation rates, league tables, more people to college, more people through the system. And we have created a great cesspool of social waste that isn't seen to be relevant, but along the way, what we've actually done is we have eroded the culture of learning. Great schools know, great communities like this, great arts organisations know, if you get the culture right, the work will be great. If you create the conditions for growth. And it's why this teacher in the heart of Harlem is saying, I dance with my kids because it really enriches the culture of my school. And all these people say the same: get the culture right, and output will take care of itself. But you get it right by humanizing it and understanding what the conditions for human growth actually look like. And it's in that sense too, the cultural sense, that dance is as important as any other discipline in school and should be provided for equally. But there's a last thing I just want to say about it, I promise, which is this. All these are inherently important to dance, but dance also contributes to other objectives. And for the people who were treating me before this all started, they might just want to know there's a lot of evidence that when children exercise and dance, their math results improve as well. There's a very interesting study was done in Naperville, near Chicago, in 1990, of 19,000 students, where they all underwent a physical fitness program, not a competitive one, getting themselves physically fit. And as well as the inherent value it had, it improved all of their results across the board enormously. They learned better, they had a bigger appetite for learning, they were more productive at school. There's something called the Trends in International Maths and Science test, TIMSS. America generally rates at 7% in that particular competition, right low down. So only 7% get in the top tier in that competition across the United States. The kids from this program ended up being number 6 in the world in maths and science. And the study related directly to the impact of physical training and physical vitality. There's a brilliant guy at Harvard called John Ratey who's written a book called Spark, Go Wild. It's part of a whole research program showing the interrelationship between physical conditioning, physical vitality, and achievement and engagement in school. Dance is part of that too, and also it's very specifically part of it. This is one of the last things I want to show you, but this is the research. This is 2001, there's been subsequent studies, one in 2004, one more recently, where they looked at the number of fitness standards they achieved in California and related that to their scores in reading. You'll see they go up. Scores in reading go up as the kids spend more time attending to their physical development. It goes up in mathematics in grade 9, 7 and 5. There are more recent studies which show the same thing. There's a direct correlation between getting kids up, about, moving, which also affects their overall academic achievement. Add to that all the other benefits of dance, the social, the cultural, the personal, the emotional, and you have a very compelling case here for seeing it as 4 square with the rest of the curriculum. This is a teacher, a very short clip from this teacher from the Virgin Islands who explained about
You know what? We tested in September with STAR Reading, a very valid test on reading components, and STAR Math. And just before they went home in December, we tested again. However, every single year come March, we do the ITBS or the Vital testing, the Virgin Islands test. And every year with dancing classrooms, our 5th grade students have been our top scorers. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about the aspect of dancing classrooms and the academic lives of our children.